Your future just changed. Not tomorrow, not next year, right now. 5 technologies are reshaping our planet, and most people have no idea they exist. From pulling CO2 straight out of the sky to turning seawater into fuel. Buckle up, let's go. Chapter 1, Direct Air Capture. In Iceland, something extraordinary is happening. Meet CLIMEWORKS Mammoth, the world's largest machine that does something nature takes centuries to achieve. In days. Here's what's mind-blowing. This facility pulls CO2 directly from the air, 36,000 tons per year, and it locks it underground permanently. Imagine if we could deploy hundreds of these across Europe. But here's the real breakthrough. In 2025, CLIMEWORKS just announced they've extended their filter lifetime by 10 times and cut energy consumption by 50%. That means the cost per ton of carbon removal is plummeting. The CEO told us this: one tree absorbs 20 kilograms of CO2 per year. One of our machines, 20 tons on the same patch of land. That's not climate action, that's climate multiplication. Chapter 2, Green Hydrogen. Picture this. Steel production accounts for 7% of the world's emissions. Every building, every car, every bridge starts in a coal furnace releasing toxic CO2. Sweden just changed everything. The HYBRIT project in Luleå doesn't use coal, it uses hydrogen. And here's what happens. Instead of CO2 going into the atmosphere, you get water vapor. The numbers are staggering. One commercial facility will produce 1.3 million tons of fossil-free steel annually. That's 25% of Sweden's entire output. And emissions reduction? 14 million tons of CO2 avoided in just the first decade. But there's more. The pilot proved they can store green hydrogen underground. That cuts operating costs by 26 to 31%. Suddenly, clean steel isn't just possible, it's profitable. Chapter 3, Seawater Alchemy. What if I told you the ocean holds the key to solving 2 crises at once? Meet EQUATIC. This California startup just cracked a code that sounds like science fiction. Take seawater, add renewable electricity. Out comes clean hydrogen fuel and permanent carbon storage. Here's the process, and it's elegant. They pump seawater through an electrolysis plant. The electrical current splits the water. One stream becomes alkaline, basically a CO2 sponge. The other produces green hydrogen. Their first commercial plant in Canada will remove 109,500 tons of CO2 per year, while producing 3,600 tons of clean hydrogen. The hydrogen revenue helps offset the carbon removal costs. One researcher told us, this is 99,000 times faster than nature's carbon pump. Imagine hundreds of these along Europe's coasts, not competing for land, just quietly transforming seawater into solutions. Chapter 4, Solar Revolution. Solar energy is evolving. Here's what's happening in Europe right now. In Italy, 2.5 gigawatts of agrivoltaic systems are being built this year. Farmers install vertical solar panels between crop rows. The panels create a microclimate. They protect plants from extreme heat, wind, and rain. Result? Crop yields increase by 20%. Water usage drops by 20%. And they're generating electricity. No land conflict, no sacrifice of food production, pure synergy. But innovation doesn't stop there. Floating solar farms are multiplying across European reservoirs. Queen Elizabeth Reservoir in the UK has the largest floating solar array. 8 football fields of solar panels on water. If we covered just 30% of the world's 115,000 reservoirs with floating solar, we generate 9,434 terawatt-hours annually. That's triple the entire energy production of the European Union. The 2025 EU roadmap mandates that at least 5% of new renewable capacity be innovative solar. That means thousands of new agrivoltaic and floating farms. We're not just talking about clean energy anymore. We're reshaping land use. Chapter 5, Batteries of the Future. Everything you know about batteries is about to change. Current lithium-ion batteries have hit a ceiling. But solid-state batteries? They're breaking the laws of physics. Here's why they matter. Solid-state batteries can store up to 500 watt-hours per kilogram. That's 86% more energy density than today's batteries. That means electric cars driving 800 kilometers on a single charge, charging in 15 minutes instead of 45. Batteries that won't catch fire because there's no flammable liquid electrolyte. The Chinese Academy of Sciences just demonstrated a breakthrough. A battery that can survive 20,000 bends without losing performance. 20,000 bends. What's the timeline? By 2027, semi-solid-state batteries in mass production. By 2030, all solid-state batteries enter commercial production. This isn't a prediction for 2050. It's happening in the next 5 years. The European Union and major battery makers are racing to scale production. This is the energy revolution that will enable everything on this list to work at scale. And now, conclusion. Here's what most people miss. These aren't isolated innovations. They're converging. Picture this. CLIMEWORKS powered by agrivoltaic farms with solid-state batteries storing energy. Hydrogen from EQUATIC powering steel production. All of this in Europe. Right now, the European Commission set a target. 42.5% renewable energy by 2030. These 5 technologies don't just help us hit that target, they smash it. This year, Europe added 89 gigawatts of capacity. The momentum is exponential. The future isn't coming, it's here. In Iceland, in Sweden, in Italy, in the UK. The question isn't whether these technologies will scale. The question is whether you'll be part of the story. If you want to stay ahead of the greatest technological shift in a century, hit subscribe, because the future is green, and it's arriving fast.